Yes, we want to say good morning to Dr. Eri Shimizu. Good morning, doctor.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for calling us this morning. We have a great subject this morning, and which we all should pay attention to. First, Dr. Shimizu, what foods can I eat for better sleep?
So getting a good night's sleep is essential.
Yeah.
And what's often overlooked is the impact of what you eat as well as when you eat it on your sleep quality. So first, what you eat matters. You really want to be eating a wide variety of real foods to ensure that you're getting all the necessary nutrients in your diet. So being deficient in things like magnesium, which can really affect up to 20 to 40% of Americans, can really impact your sleep. And when I say real foods, I mean foods that you can recognize as actual foods. So things like salmon, avocados, vegetables, fruits. And you really want to limit the processed foods, which are really anything that's packaged, as often these lack a lot of the essential nutrients that we need. In addition, you can focus on eating certain foods that can help promote sleep. So these are foods such as foods that are high in tryptophan, like turkey or milk, foods that are high in magnesium, which are like pumpkin or chia seeds, and then foods that are naturally high in melatonin, which is our sleep hormone, and that's things like pistachios or tart cherry juice. But the second thing you want to pay attention to is not just what you eat, but also the timing of when you eat. And you really want to stop eating somewhere around 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, because what you eat will cause your sugars to fluctuate, which can in turn impact your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone, and that can impact your sleep.
Got it. You know, doctor, we know how important our digestive system or how it works in digesting our food. How do I improve my digestive health?
So same thing like eating to get better sleep. You also will want to eat better to improve your digestive health. So again, there's those real foods, but also to make sure that you get enough plants and fiber into your diet. And what I'm talking about is aiming for about 4 to 6 servings of veggies every single day. And so a serving is 1 cup of fresh or half a cup of cooked. And again, we're going for 4 to 6 servings of those every single day. Now, some people initially can't tolerate eating that much fiber because it causes so much gas and bloating. And if that's you, I generally tell you to start increasing that plant intake slowly and starting off with some cooked veggies, which are easier to digest. But as well, to kind of get your digestion better, you also want to make sure that you're digesting well, which I tell people to practice mindful eating. And by this, I mean you want to eat when you're in a nice, relaxed state. You want to chew your food well. And you also want to give your guts a break from food so that the intestines can do their job. So there's something called the migrating motor complex, and its job is essentially to sweep all the rubbish out of the small intestines and give it to the colon so that you can poop it out. But if you're constantly eating, this migrating motor complex gets turned off. And so to keep it on or letting it do its job, you really want to limit snacking in between meals and not eating ideally 12 hours overnight. So that's like saying stopping dinner at 7 o'clock and then not eating again until 7 a.m. So those things can all help.
Yeah, for sure. I've experienced this myself. I've been on an intermittent fast, and it improved my digestive health tremendously. Dr. Eri, are there any foods I can eat to reduce stress and anxiety?
So stress and anxiety are prevalent, and food actually plays a role in that in several ways. So one, again, those highly processed foods can be very inflammatory, and that can drive up cortisol, which is that stress hormone. Also, foods that are not nutritionally replete can make it harder for you to get the nutrients that can then help your body make things like serotonin or dopamine, and those are your happy brain chemicals. And then foods that also may feel good in the moment, such as high sugary foods, caffeine, or alcohol, can actually worsen our mood in the long term. So besides focusing, again, on those real foods, some of the power foods you may want to focus on if you're suffering from stress or anxiety are things that are, again, high in magnesium, so that can help with the sleep. Again, those pumpkin seeds or green leafy vegetables. Foods that are also high in omega-3 fatty acids, such as salmon or those other small fish or walnuts, can be really excellent for combating inflammation, which can drive up cortisol, the stress hormone. Vitamin B-rich foods can also help support the production of our happy brain chemicals. So these are things like eggs, organ meats, again, green leafy vegetables. And then finally, proteins, which can help to keep our blood sugar balanced, which can help keep the cortisol balanced, But also the amino acids from proteins are not just for building your muscle, which we commonly think of, but they're also important building blocks for most things in the body, including the serotonin and the dopamine. And of course, in addition to eating all the good foods, we don't want to ignore the power of movement, exercise, and of course, sleep on our stress levels.
For sure. Wow. Dr. Shimizu, that was some awesome answers. And I personally accept those and receive that from you because we all could do better in our health. And we want to thank you for joining us this morning. Dr. Eri Shimizu, we'll talk again. Thanks. Okay.
Thanks, Shane.
Aloha.